I'd like to introduce a research from Mr. Aizawa. The title is Building Basic Demand Estimation Model of Core City and Policy Evaluation. First of all, I would like to talk about the necessity of policy consensus forming for support in regional urban center. As is known to all, with a sharp decreasing of population in regional urban center, many kinds of services encounter the problem of excessive supplication. Then there must be a gap between supply and demand in service field. For example, numbers of students and numbers of grades. So we need policies for supply-demand management. One of the best examples of such management is compact city. Maybe you have known it well. Compact city has made progress in some areas. On the other hand, considering kinds of stakeholders must reach a same agreement in the stage of policy evaluation framework design, policy consensus forming is extremely important in the real world. So here is the question: how to support policy consensus forming? To solve such problems, we should see the conditions of consensus forming support. First, there are two conditions: visibility and basic information. And the second one, support advantage, disadvantage, and even another topics related to service evaluation policy design among stakeholders. In the second part, I want to mention a concept, point, which is similar as the topic in policy establishment. In this research, stakeholders construct a framework of policy evaluation, which is used to discover the advantages, disadvantages, and even other topics related to the service evaluation policy design. The purpose of the research can be concluded as two parts: construct a policy evaluation framework and fundamental needs estimation model in regional urban center, which is useful for effectively supporting consensus forming. So, what is fundamental needs? They are service in our daily life, like education service needs, health service needs, and so on. Fundamental needs estimation model aims to estimate the population and the needs of residents towards fundamental service in regional urban center. On the other hand, policy evaluation framework is used to discover the advantage, disadvantage, and even other topics related to service evaluation policy design. Then let me introduce the first part, fundamental needs estimation model. Fundamental needs estimation model consists of virtual city model and fundamental needs calculation module. In the virtual city model, regional urban center includes several virtual areas. Outside areas, home, station, hospital, school, and so on, and all human agents live in these areas. Totally, there are two parts, central part and service part. In the whole virtual city model, each human agent is located in a space as his home and also is set state variables and action role. Besides, home, station, hospital, school, and a lot of space are located into the city areas. Population change in this area with a series of human agent actions, such as moving in, moving out, death, and birth. The virtual city model is shown in this figure. Policy evaluation framework focuses on discovering the advantage, disadvantage, and even other topics related to the service evaluation policy design. Specifically, it includes two parts: calculation of supply depending on the needs, or calculation of needs depending on the supply, and framework from synchronic comparison of indicators between scenarios. Furthermore, for operating the policy evaluation framework in the real, it is essential to have a synchronic comparison of indicators between scenarios. Here, synchronic comparison means compare all the things at the same time. In the model, we compare demand and supply, appropriate demand and appropriate supply at the same time t. Since I had mentioned it before, purpose of this simulation is certificating the effect of the model framework for supporting consensus forming successfully. In this model, we construct a virtual regional urban center based on the data from our city. As an example, We also designed two scenarios, base scenario and complexity scenario. Furthermore, from the model of evaluation framework, this research found that fundamental needs estimation model contributes to supply of fundamental information. Information here means information about change of population and service needs. Moreover, by comparing the results in two scenarios, there are two conclusions. On one hand, only visualization is useful to discover advantage, disadvantage, and topics of policy. On the other hand, policy evaluation framework is helpful to realize problem discovery effectively. Finally, we point out the purpose of this research again. This research constructs a policy evaluation framework and fundamental needs estimation model in regional urban center. This research includes two parts, fundamental needs estimation model and policy evaluation framework. Fundamental needs estimation model provide useful information for consensus forming. Moreover, policy evaluation framework makes discover advantage, disadvantage, and topics visible.